Hello everybody, I'm Oliver Leopold. I'm here at the IMTS 2014 and I'm going to show you around. So in their main room, we have a nice car that they just put on display. So we first see a 3D printer with some nice models. It's a cube 3D printer, and this is probably the least advanced thing we're going to see today, so you're going to see some pretty cool things. They made some nice models, and even a guitar made completely out of a 3D printer. They even made colored DNA and a track with a race car. Now this one is a really cool intelligent arm that is following lines and shapes, and we see these in a lot of exhibits. Now Purdue University made a nice speaker and allowed people to play a guitar so it comes out of the speaker. Another 3D printer with a nice kind of egg-shaped item. Now this is a flying drone robot, and in the drone's family we have a land robot that is controlled by a remote control. So it's pretty cool, and the wheels are custom designed so it can move sideways even if it's facing straight. Now this might look like a rocket ship to you, but it's actually a car that can go 500 miles per hour. Has very advanced controls, and really looks nice and modern. This is the driver that will be driving it in just some weeks and trying to break a record for the car. All 3D printed metal items, and this is pretty cool. It represents factories and how they work, including conveyor belts, and they're just miniature models, so I found this really interesting. Next up, we have kind of an interactive game. There are 4 levers, and you can try to take styrofoam from one part of the box to another part of the box, and it's pretty complicated, especially with 2 people. Also, thanks to First for having all sorts of free stuff and allowing you to drive a robot and try to shoot a ball into a basket. Now, this is a human-friendly robot where if it hits you, it will stop and not hurt you. Now, if you don't give it enough force, it will do something kind of like this. Now, this is controlling a robot to shoot the ball. This one is one of First's robots, and it's coarse. This is a really cool video of a robot arranging these blocks in a really special way, so just check it out. The next one was by Mastercam, and they just simulated some machines on their computer. And Yoda, a giant Yoda head made out of many layers of paper. So that was it for one of the floors. But don't worry, there's tons of more coverage. In fact, we're not even halfway. Well, we might be halfway, maybe. And now in a different floor, they are printing tires for a 3D printed electric car. So this is a huge 3D printer, the biggest one I have definitely ever seen. So yeah, they're printing tires for a car, and if you see, that is the car. I couldn't get too close, but that's the car that they're 3D printing. So there it is. It's a 3D printed car, and there are many people on the job working on it, and it's a big deal. Next thing is kind of just for entertainment. It's a robot that just moves. I couldn't really find a purpose in it except for your viewing pleasure. And this one is kind of just two hands hanging things up and playing around. And then the big billboard kind of thing changes. Now this is one of my favorites. It is a blackjack playing robot. Users were able to play blackjack on iPads, but the robot was the dealer and helped deal out all cards and chips and helped to manage the whole game, and it was extremely interesting and really cool to watch. Now, Flow Water Jet printed all these things by shooting water at metal. So this is what it looks like. Occasionally it has a water burst, and it is cutting through metal with water. And the pressure has to be so high, but we asked, and this is the machine that pumps all the water, and those are the actual pumps. This is a slinky maker, and then turners. So now this is actually engraving an skateboard and making it. So that's pretty cool. Now this is a laser cutter, obviously not on, but it made some pretty cool things. This is another miniature laser cutter on demo mode for safety. Now this is the 3D printed car all finished, and it was a huge deal. Many people were lining up to watch. There were cameras, there were people talking. You probably have seen it in the news. This is just a random car they put out, made just for art purposes. And this is another car that was outside just for no reason. Some jets just on display. And yet another shiny, shiny car that they had to clean a few times. Now this is a really cool thing. It has a camera, and if you look on the display, you see a tiger, and you also see the people standing there. So it is making a fake tiger, and people are fake interacting with it. So I think that's really cool. Next, that is not a spaceship. It is a car that can go 700 miles an hour. Thank you to them. They gave us some posters about it. Those posters.
Recording? Yeah. I'm after Sam, sorry. Okay, Glass. You're after me. Take a picture. You're after me. You're after Mommy. No, I'm not. Okay, Glass. Okay, Glass.
Thank you for watching. That was at the IMTS 2014. Check it out on the link below, and I will see you next time. Bye.